Hi, I'm Jonathan Maston. Today I want to talk to you about our 5-second fifth grader test. We're going to do another evaluation. This time we're going to do it for a requested website, and we're going to take a look at Becky's site for her farm and see how it does on the 5-second fifth grader test. So take a moment and join me. The 5-second fifth grader test is a test you need to run on your website to determine whether or not you're connecting with your audience as quickly as necessary. Thanks for joining me today as we take a look at Becky's site and see how she does for her farm website on the 5-second fifth grader test. Just a reminder for those of you that may be joining us new, 3 things we need to pass on the 5-second fifth grader test. So the question is as follows. In 5 seconds, without scrolling, could a fifth grader look at your website and answer 1, what you do, 2, what it means to them, and 3, what they should do next if they're interested? If so, you pass. If not, you fail, and you're going to have a hard time converting visitors to your website. So with that, let's take a look at Becky's site. So I'm going to open a new tab here, a blank tab, so that we can go back and count to 5. Again, 5 seconds. So here we go. Ready, set, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Boom. All right, so what do you think? Did Becky's site pass? Let's go back and evaluate, and I'll walk you through my perspective on whether or not she passed the test. So first thing when I come here, I want to find out what is it that Becky's farm does. I can take a look. There's a lot here, but I can figure out pretty fast that it's Cedar Break Farms and that she does American Dairy Goat Association La Mancha Dairy Goats, homebrew goat milk, and wildflower honey soap. That fits in with the pictures that I'm seeing, so not bad. So step 1, you pass. Without scrolling, very quickly, I can indeed find out what you guys do. So what does that mean for me? Well, I'm pretty sure that this text here is going to tell me what the value of that means to me, especially as it relates to the soap. From just doing a quick scan. Unfortunately, there's no way I'm going to read all of that in 5 seconds. So I don't see the value that I'm going to get. So unfortunately, Becky, I'm sorry, I can't pass you on step 2 of the test. And that brings us to step 3. Let's say that I have arrived here. I know I'm in the right spot, and I want to buy some of your soap or goat products or whatever we've got here, and I want to do that. How do I do that? I'm not sure. Without scrolling, I can't see. Now, remember, one of the caveats of the 5-second fifth grader test is we don't scroll. So, unfortunately, we're going to fail that part too. So now let's take just a quick break and let's go back and some evaluation because Becky asked me to review the site. I also want to provide some insight into things that I think could make the site better. First and foremost, I think the layout is fine, Becky. I do think that there's a lot of words, though, on the homepage without scrolling. More words than, candidly, most of us are going to read in that first 3 to 5 seconds. I love the feel that I get when you say, come sit on our porch and pour a glass of cold milk and open a good book. We're going on an adventure. That's neat. It sets an emotion, but it's still quite a bit to read. I might recommend we replace the text up here with something as simple as homebrew goat milk and wildflower honey soap, or even better, goat milk and wildflower honey soap that improves your health or cleans better. I don't know a lot about goat soap other than that it's really kind of creamy. So help me understand what it does naturally so that I can see that. As I read down here, obviously, I can read that it doesn't contain lots of harsh chemicals. That's important. I can see it makes my skin feel good. That's great. So maybe you could just say something up top about goat milk and wildflower honey soap to make your skin feel amazing. Now you've got both points, 1 and 2, of my 5-second fifth grader test covered. You've told me what you do, and you've told me why, because you're going to make my skin feel amazing. Then the only other thing we need to add on here is we need to move some of this text down. What happens when people see this much text, Becky, is they often go, wow, that looks like a lot of work and I don't have enough time for that, so they don't go anywhere. or they quickly scroll. And you've got some buttons right here. That's great. Unfortunately, they're down a little bit too low, so they don't show up until I scroll. I would move these buttons, especially the shop button. I might make that the primary button up top, and then the Meet Our Goats and learn more about goat milk soap as smaller buttons beneath that. I think that would help out. The other thing that, I know you're an author, at least I do now as I scroll down the page, and I'd love to have an opportunity to know a little bit more about Becky, the author, at the top of the page, and explain that. We could talk about a lot of different ways to do that. You've got information on your horses here, and then it looks like your Anatolian shepherds, but I guess those are Turkish Baz shepherds. I apologize. And they got some really cool information there, and then about us. I don't know if your website will allow you to, Becky, or not, but I might encourage you to try to either do separate pages for some of this information or create a top menu. The left menu is okay, but it's not intuitive. People tend to look for menus at the top, and I would definitely maybe encourage you to take a look at that. It would also give you a little more room. By putting that at the top, I could then possibly get a couple of things in. You could direct me specifically to where I want to go. So much like when I click on shop, I do then get sent over here to your shop, and that's great. That seems to be natural and work good. The problem with it on the left, and I'm just being critical from a design perspective, the average user's eye, mine included, doesn't go to the left. We stick over here on the right, and we almost forget this is over here. So I think a top level menu would serve you better there. But the good news is you've got what appear to be a really cool product and some really cool information to share with people. I think with a couple of those changes, it could really be beneficial. Becky, one thing that may be helpful is I had shared a website layout in the past. I'll share it again in the comments under this video of a layout that you could actually follow, that you could use all your existing information and just kind of reformatting. That might be a really good fit and help you do that easily. So let's stop our share here a minute. I hope that's been valuable as we took a look at that in the 5-second fifth grader test. And a big thank you to Becky for being willing to let me go and take a look at your site and give you some feedback on what can happen. On a side note, I met Becky through the Facebook group. If you guys have any interest in goat soap, or obviously some fiction writing that she does, go and take a look and support Becky. She's part of our digital group, and we love to support each other here. So if you haven't a chance to do that, I will put her URL on here as well so that you guys can see that and head over to see her. It is just BeckyBurkhardt.com. That's BeckyBurkheart.com. With that, make it a great day, everybody.